Breaking news: enough is enough. Tinubu reacts to certificate forgery saga. See what he told the Supreme Court to do. For weeks now, there have been stories and counter-stories of how President Tinubu forged his credentials. Sadly, despite the fact Chicago State University's representative confirmed that the president attended and graduated from their institution, politicians, journalists kept pushing the stories. Even the all-right BBC said there were no evidence Tinubu forged his certificate, yet oppositions keep banking off social media to spread false information about it. Bola Tinubu, the president-elect of the All Progressive Congress (APC) in the 2023 election, has urged the Supreme Court to reject the appeal made by Atiku Abubakar, the PDP nominee for president in the 2023 election, as well as the entire opposition party. In response to Atiku's notice of appeal, Tinubu expressed this position via his legal counsel. This development follows the dismissal of Atiku's petition contesting the outcomes of the February 25th, 2023 presidential election by the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal in its judgment on September 6th. Now we know that the tribunal found no validity in the petition because the former vice president had not provided evidence to support the claims made in it. On September 18th, Atiku submitted a notice of appeal with 35 grounds before the Supreme Court. In response to this setback, Atiku claimed in this appeal that the tribunal's conclusion contained grave errors and gross misrepresentation, which eventually resulted in an injustice. President Tinubu, on the other hand, supported the tribunal's decision and his election, claiming that the appellants had not shown any evidence to support their arguments before the panel. He claimed that there were no compelling grounds for the Supreme Court to overturn the judgment of the lower court. And Atiku's appeal was further described by Tinubu as abusive in nature, and he pleaded for its dismissal. The appellant had abused court procedures, he said, adding that his appeal is another example of it. So it's requested that the Supreme Court rejected it. So it seems that to Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar and the PDP, they are the ones cooking up allegations against him that he forged his certificate, his Chicago State University certificate. In conclusion, President Bola Tinubu has urged the Supreme Court to affirm the decision of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. We recall that the appeal court, which is the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, had declared Tinubu the winner. So Tinubu, going by that judgment, has urged the Supreme Court to do the same. He does this by arguing that Atiku's appeal is without substance and has an abusive tone. The importance and complexity of Nigeria's 2023 presidential election, where important political figures are still contesting the results in courts, are highlighted by these ongoing legal disputes. Now we've seen that with all this going on, the president in one side, Atiku Abubakar at the other hand, and then not to talk of Peter Obi of the Labour Party. So you see, all this emerged, or all this sprung up from the 2023 presidential elections, the disputed elections, the flawed elections. We got to see all this. But then Nigerians are waiting for the Supreme Court to finalize everything, and then people can move forward, because the supporters of the PDP and the supporters of the Labour Party, they are clinching on to this Supreme Court with high hopes that Tinubu victory would be nullified, that Tinubu's election would be cancelled, that the election victory would be nullified. So they are holding in high hopes that the Supreme Court would give a better judgment than the Presidential Election Petition Court, which we all know that the chances of the Supreme Court removing Tinubu is likely slim. So, my country people, Tinubu once again has walked up to the Supreme Court, urging them to do the rightful thing by not listening to Atiko's petition concerning his certificate forgery saga, and also not going against the judgment of the other court, which is the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. So, my country people, Nigerians have reacted to this. Atiku plus Obi petitioned is going to be dismissed accordingly, and the judgment of the tribunal is going to be upheld by the Supreme Court, and that is the fact. Lie. He forged the certificate presented to INEC. Please, they said he never graduated from the above course. Where did he truly graduate? Nigeria is dancing naked in the full daylight before the whole world. The whole world is watching this country, Nigeria, ruled and governed by wolves. I cry the Nigeria from the depth of my heart, but I do not forget that Almighty God liveth, and it is only God that can save us. We see the work of this sycophant here, but we know that the Supreme Court may reject it, but the truth remains the same. Na una go forge certificate for him, no wahala. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu don't interfere with the judicial process as if he's an interested party in this case. Okay guys, these are reactions from Nigerians. So my country people, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comments section. Thank you.